Hello and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. I want to start off with a bit of a serious discussion about comments and making videos, just everything in general. So I'm not really sure where to start, but in the last episode I tried to test on these guys and the response was pretty negative because I didn't really know much about villager trading. And here's the thing, this game is a unique game and it's mainly based around knowledge of how the game works, and there's no instruction manual. There's a wiki with incorrect information and a lot of myths and all sorts of things about this game. So as someone who makes videos, I don't really have enough time to watch every video that's out there on villager trading. In fact, I haven't even watched any of them because I'm normally recording or doing something else, and yeah, I just don't really have the time to go out and find out about all these things. So usually I try and find out about stuff for myself, like I tried to do here. And yeah, the comments in response to what I did were really negative, not from everyone of course, and I imagine most people who didn't comment may not even have negative thoughts on it as well, but I just wanted to talk about it because as a video maker it's really important that your audience enjoys what you're doing, and it's quite frustrating sometimes to have people telling you that they're face palming and they're upset because you don't understand something, and no one understands anything about Minecraft when they first play it. So when these guys have added in villager trading, I don't have the time to follow every single update and keep up to date with what's going on. So I knew nothing about villager trading, and then I came here and done my own tests, and there's one thing that I don't understand. People keep saying that you get a new trade from a villager when you do a first trade, and I even in the video traded with these guys one by one, and only on the third trade did I ever get a new one available to me. So I don't know really what to say about that. Maybe you're right, maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed like I'd done the test and got things right, and I was only ever going on the information based in the wiki. So another thing is that those comments and stuff, that's what keeps me motivated, and it's really difficult to continue playing Minecraft when a lot of people are, telling you that they're face palming throughout their videos and stuff. And I don't want to just say that I don't want to see that on my videos, but other people's videos as well. It takes a lot of time and effort to make this kind of content. I mean, making an episode on Hermitcraft takes me well over a day of playing, and that's in between, doing other things, working at my job, and for the amount of effort you put into this, it's really dispiriting sometimes to read, the comments and just have nothing but negativity in there. Well, I don't want to say that because there were some really nice comments as well, but a lot of negativity makes it hard to get in the mood and play. And I'm not really in the mood to play right now, but I thought if I just had a little vent at the beginning of this episode, I'd probably feel a bit better about it. And I can tell you that I do already. So in this episode, we're not going to do anything on villager trading, don't worry. And I'll tell you what, I'll go and watch Doc M's video and see if I can learn something from it myself as well. And what we will do is start building the village. So I've actually had a little time to do some things in between. These awful looking things are the Shire idea. Now in the Shire on Lord of the Rings or in the movies, the houses have like a sloped top and then a sloped under bit. So I was just placing some blocks trying to get an idea of what this might look like, and I really don't think the idea translates into Minecraft. The blocky look just doesn't really help it. So this one over here, I can see a skeleton over there, they shouldn't be spawning. Should all be lit up. But anyway, this one over here, we've got the slope again. This time I put the slope in front of it to see if that kind of opened it up, and that does look a little better. I put in a cobblestone wall, obviously we'd have like a window on either side. But in general, I think the whole Shire idea doesn't really suit Minecraft because of the blockiness. And it just kind of takes away from the natural shape and makes it look kind of awkward. So what we're going to do is just play around with some building materials, put a few things together, try and build some houses. And I've already got a few ideas, and I've also been doing a little bit of resource gathering. So over here we have this chest. I've got tons of spruce, birch and oak wood, so we've got a good supply of those different wooden planks and wood blocks that we can use for building. I've also got tons of stone and cobblestone in chests elsewhere, so we don't have to worry about that. Now I was looking at the shape and we sort of have like a semicircle going on here. So I kind of thought that maybe if we focus this in that kind of shape, like have some central feature that's circular and then pathways leading out to the edges. We could actually have some houses in the middle but also out here on the edge, and I was thinking it'd be nice if you're in a boat coming over to Avalon to see, you know, that the village is there on this side. So if we pop out here and have a look, I think it'd look good if we kept the houses at the same height as the landmass where I'm pointing right now, and they just extended over the edge here, and we had some fence post pillars going up, so maybe they'll overhang the water and they have like support beams underneath them. I think that could look really good, especially if you're way out there, you know, you can see a lot more of the island, and I think it looked great just to see all of these houses, you know, sort of overhanging the edge a little bit, and you know, have a real I'm not sure what the word is, but a real kind of compact, I think that's the right word, looking village. So you'd see, you know, the outskirts would have all of those little houses overhanging the water, and then from the view out there you'd see those, and then as you looked in further into the city you'd see bigger structures higher up, and I don't know, I feel there's real potential for that. So there's also the underground element that I talked about previously, and I don't think I'm really going to do too much of that straight away. We'll probably save that for a later time. And for a villager breeding machine, I think I want to build one underground and use a water valve system so that we can bring them up above the ground. So I've only seen a few things on villager breeding machines, but I get the basic concept is you have a ton of doors and you put blocks above them, and then the villagers will just breed. So I was thinking we could probably put something like that on a platform underground, and then there'd be a water collection system underneath that bring all of the villagers to a single point, and then we can actually bring them up through a water tube, which I thought would be quite funny to sort of bring them out of the ground and then drop them into the village. So one thing I imagine will happen is there'll be a problem with the zombies here, and I have no idea how to counteract that, because you know, I don't know too much about villagers, as you know. So if you guys have any ideas on how to stop zombies spawning or anything like that, please let me know, because my solution at the moment is just to have a breeding machine underground so that we continuously repopulate and pump villagers into the village. Okay, it may not look like much, but this is me working on one of the first houses to go on the outside. I probably won't even use these wooden planks, but I'm just using it to build and get a rough idea of the shape. So if you can see that wooden pillar, that's roughly the centre of what would be, I guess, a semicircle around it that kind of goes with the shape of the island over this side. So what I thought is I'd start off by building a semicircle of houses that go around the outside. So this is the first one, and the thing with this is I'm using circles, and circles in Minecraft is always a bit of a pain. And I think I might actually go for a square shape, which probably won't look that great. Well, not as good as a circular one, but if you do it right, I think you can, you know, add the right detail around the outside, you can get it looking good. So yeah, I'm not really happy with this as a circle. I was thinking, where's the door going to go? Because you're going to walk up here and it's going to have to be on one side. These are going to be walls, so if you can imagine the walls being built up, it's going to be really tiny in here, I guess. Not a lot of room for much at all. So I think I'm going to go with a square shape and see how that looks. I tried doing the square shape and it looked a lot worse. It really didn't look good, so I thought, right, we'll go back to the circle. And I made it one bigger by putting this spruce wood around the outside, which I do like, and I might even keep the floor. I think it goes quite well with the dark wood. And this is the little entranceway I'm working on. We'll have a window and a door, and the amount of space we have inside now is quite good. It's fairly spacious. And then down the bottom here I've added these spruce wood blocks at the top and bottom on our support beams, because I don't know, they just didn't look right, and they still don't look, I don't know, something wrong with this. I'll figure it out as I go along. I was thinking maybe over here we could put some of these logs coming down into the dirt a bit, so it looks a bit more like it's built in rather than just sort of yeah, being held up by these, because they don't look that strong. Oh, another thing, I might actually remove this out a bit and make it along this wall, because although it's got the circular shape, it's, I don't know, looks more like a, what do you call it, a 8-sided shape than a circle, if that makes sense. Forget that. Oh, octagon? Yeah, that's it. It looks more like an octagon. So maybe we'll just move this in one block and see what that looks like. I've moved those blocks in, and now it looks more like a square, or at least it will when I finish doing these sides, which I might not actually do. I was just looking at the shape and I was thinking, you know, whatever we do with circles, unless they're really big, they're not going to look that circular. So maybe it's best if we just give each of their houses their own shape. So this one will be like this. We'll have the one diagonal block over here, and then two on the other two sides. And I might even change up the front a little so that the entrance can be a bit bigger. Okay, this is how I want the entrance to go. We're going to have a pathway that leads up to the central point from here. That won't be made out of wood, but it will go down to the edge here, and then this one can branch off in two directions and go into two houses. So this will be the first of which, and I'll probably do that with most of the paths that lead up to the centre. They'll go out to the edge and then branch off into two houses, or maybe I'll make this one meet up with another one that branches off to two houses, and then all the roads can sort of meet up and go to the middle. And then with the space between each of the roads, if you imagine it like you've got all these houses dotted around the outside, and then as the roads go inwards they sort of carve up the space between them, then each of those land masses between roads will build houses on the mainland with. So anyway, let's continue building this up. Okay, it's starting to look a little better. I like what I've done over here on the outside with the path. I've put the logs on the side so you can see that texture on the bottom there, and I think that looks really good. But the floor in here I might actually change, because I've noticed we're using all wooden materials at the moment. I think we need to change it up a little bit. And also swam out here into the ocean and had a look, and I wasn't too happy with how it looked at the moment. There's too much wood and there's not enough shape, so I think what I might do is go around the outside, and these blocks here I might replace with half slabs or just something to add a little bit of shape to it, because at the moment it looks very blocky, which is pretty much what everything looks like in Minecraft, but I'll continue working on it. Okay, I've added in these stairs and that's starting to give it a bit of a better look, but it still looks a bit chaotic. There's just so much going on everywhere. I think I might remove those half slabs and maybe replace them with ones of the same colour, but I like how it gives it this Y shape at the moment just by leaving the one block there. But then again, these are now out of colour as well, so I think we're getting the shape right. We just need to pick the right materials at the moment so it looks complete. So I'm going to go back to using the spruce wood on these bits here and then play around with these half slabs. And I've also added in stone down the bottom here. I think this just gives it that little edge when you see it from the outside. You know, it looks like it's got a sturdy support because you've got this wood, but you've also got some stone foundations. And I didn't really see any place up here to put any stone. I've forgotten to place these. We'll just put them there because it's all wood, and I think it kind of suits for it to stay all wood at the moment. Okay, this is starting to really come together now. I've put some more spruce wood blocks here on the edges to bring it down lower. I liked how that looked, and it all brings it to the same height as these blocks here. So I added in some more stairs as well, so you can see that nice shape kind of coming together now. And I think it's almost there. There's a couple more things that I want to try, like putting some fence posts, let's say one there, and then over here as well. I'll play around with putting them in different positions and see what they look like. In fact, that does look quite good. It just gives it that extra bit of detail. But there's one more thing that we need here. So far we've just been using spruce wood and normal wood. We've got a little bit of the dark wood planks up there, which I'm not too keen on. Probably going to change that. But down the bottom here we just need something, a particular type of block to go in here, I think, and fill this up so it's all level. And I want it to be quite colourful. I think it'd be nice to draw away from all the wood that we've been using and just have something underneath that's of a different colour, so when you approach it doesn't look too bland. So I really thought that sandstone would be the material. When it popped into my head I thought that's going to look great, and I went down here and yeah, I'm really not too sure on that. It just stands out so much next to the wood, and I think maybe we're going to have to pick something else. I'm not even going to finish putting those in. That really doesn't look good at all, does it? Okay, there we go. I didn't want to use wood, but it has the same colour as the sandstone, and the texture means it just fits in all too well. So I'm quite happy with that now. The detail that we got around the bottom here all looks good, and now we need to work on the top part of the building. So I'm going to have to make this a little bit bigger. I want the spruce wood to go all the way around the glass, and then above that we'll put in a roof with a slope on it and an overhang as well. Okay, I've got to say that I'm really happy with how this is turning out. It's not the most unique of builds, but I think it looks pretty decent, and I'm just working on the roof and thinking that we might need to change the shape up here a little bit so that we can lower these by one block so they're a little bit more hidden up the top. But if we go down below, you'll see that the roof looks pretty decent in here, and if we just change it up a bit, maybe make these half slabs one block further back, so where it is now would be the height that it comes into the middle, and we can have these one block lower, or we could even space these out actually and put them in the corners like that, which might be better for light distribution in here, because the next thing I need to check is what the light level will be down here. So yeah, in the corners I've done the two different colours of wooden wooden blocks, wooden planks, whatever you want to call them. I think that looks okay, and I was just swimming out here in the ocean to get a look at what it will look like, and I thought that what we could do is take what we've done with this first house and use that as the theme. And what I think I'm going to do next is make one almost identical to it on the other side just over here, and maybe change a few things, but in general we can keep this same theme going with using the stairs on the outside. But for each of the houses that we build in the future, we can keep this kind of theme, but maybe we'll make one that's bigger, so we'll have the stairs, the logs, more logs, because the side of it is bigger, so we can use the building elements that we put together here to create the ones in the future. And because we're using mostly wood, we can actually change up the colour scheme. So perhaps the next one that I'll make, I'll use normal wood on the outside, and we use the birchwood planks where we've used these normal stairs, and then in the middle here we could have the spruce wood planks or something like that, you know what I mean, because they're all similar materials. We can change up the colour scheme, so as you approach from a distance you'll see lots of similar looking houses but with different colour schemes and a variety of different sizes and shapes. I've changed the ceiling, and these redstone lamps, they kind of stick out and don't look quite right, but if I just put some half slabs like this, you'll see that they just blend in more, and like that I think it looks pretty decent. Okay, let's go take a look inside. The interior is coming along quite nicely. I'm not sure what else to add here, but I'll walk you through what we've got. We've got these little plant pots over here. I haven't put any plants on them just yet. I might just leave them with grass. I much prefer it like that. But anyway, we've got two seating areas, and this is like a bar. So this building over here is more like a bar for the villagers, and it's not really a big one. Maybe I'll remove that and put in a sofa there or something as well, so there's more seating area. But this is the little bar area here. I put these tracks down because I thought they would look okay. Well, I was hoping they would look okay. They don't really resemble anything though, which is a shame, because that would be a nice little detail to add. But I think what I'll do is I'll put a brewing stand over here at some point as well. So around the back of the bar you've got some furnaces, crafting bench and a chest here, and then these are supposed to be taps or something along those lines. And at this moment the only thing I don't like about this is that there's a little bit too much wood going on, so what I thought I'd do is remove all of this and replace it with stone. That's these stone slabs, and then we'll put the sign for the donator outside of here. I was looking, so a good place to put that would just be on the side here. I was thinking maybe above the door, but I don't know, I think it looks better on the side. It looks okay with the stone slabs. Doesn't really look any better or worse, it just kind of looks different. I also put them in the ground as well, so I'll keep that for now. But I was just thinking it'd be nice to have some bar stools in front of here or something like that. Not really sure what blocks you'd use to pull that off, but this kind of looks like a bar stool in a way. You'd sit on that and you need the bar to be higher up. But it got me thinking that this is probably one of the smaller buildings. We're going to build these ones dotted around the outside, and they'll all be the residential types, and then when we build bigger buildings in the middle of the village, I imagine that those will be the types, naturally being bigger, that should be bars, and library was another one I thought of, and we can make a few different themed buildings. So it might just be that in the future I rip up the interior in here and just turn it into a nice little home. I've just got back from a trip to a jungle biome, and I've got tons of jungle wood here to work with. Should be enough to build another one over on this side, and it's going to be mirrored to that one, and instead of spruce wood we're going to be using that jungle wood, and then maybe instead of the normal oak wood, we'll use dark or light wood, who knows what we'll do. But basically we're going to build the same thing over there, use different materials but the same type. So we won't build this bit out of planks, we'll build it out of jungle wood. But where there's planks we'll just build one in a different colour. And then the interior, I have no idea what I'm going to build yet, but anyway, let's get started. Second house is coming together, and the jungle wood looks pretty decent actually, and I've just been playing around with the spruce wood stairs here and I'm not too keen on it, mainly because it doesn't provide you with a contrast like over on this side, and I think that's the main aesthetical strength with this thing over here, is that there's a big contrast between the two main colours used, and we don't have that on this side, and from a distance I'd imagine they kind of blur together. So I was looking at those other two, we've got the oak wood and the jungle wood, and they don't really provide that contrast either, so what I'm going to try is the birchwood planks. Okay, I think these look really good from afar, and one thing I found is that if you just have one of these, or when I was building them on earlier it didn't look so good, but when you got one next to it it complements it a lot, and I think as we build more of these going around the outside they're going to look better and better. So we should take a closer look at this one over here, since that's the one that we've just built. So over here, because the supports went down into the water, what I've done is just put stone bricks going down to the bottom there. That looks pretty cool, I think, and I might see if I can get some mossy stone bricks from Biffa and put them down here, and that would add a nice little detail down at the bottom. But let's get out of the boat and hop up top, because the inside of this place hasn't been started yet, but it looks really good with the birchwood planks. See, the ceiling is nice and bright now, which I quite like, and the floor I'll probably make out of the same so it matches, but on the other side we have a bar at the moment, which I said in the future I'll probably change. So over this side we'll try and do something a bit more homey, so maybe we'll have a bed in here and a couch or something along those lines. Okay, let's take a look at the interior of the second building. This has quite a homey feel to it, which is what I was going for. It does feel a little bit like a restaurant at the moment. I think I need to change this one over here into a couch, so it's a bit more casual. And the floor needs to be changed, I think, because yeah, it just matches with the table and chairs, so it doesn't really stand out enough. But over here we have a kitchen area. I put these ladders on the front of these blocks because I thought they looked like they made drawers where you'd put the items in. So we've got two of those, a crafting bench, then this is supposed to be a sink. I should probably put some water in there, I'm not sure. Oh, I can do it that way. There you go, and that's the tap that puts the water in there. We've got a furnace on this side, just a button for detail, and then some blocks up here with some chests. Then around the corner we have a bed, because it's trying to be a home, so they need a place to sleep. And this is like a bedside lamp. It's just a cocoa bean, and when it's fully grown, I think it even emits light. But yeah, it does look quite like a lamp, and it just happens to be that this one's made out of jungle wood, so that was a stroke of fortune there, because if it was any other wood you wouldn't be able to place the cocoa beans on it. So I'll just make some more changes to this and then I think it will be done. Okay, the floor really does make a big difference in this room. I much prefer it with the spruce wood planks, and I put the couch in over this side. Not really sure if it looks that great. In fact, I think we need to do that. That looks a little bit better. Maybe I'll actually turn these into grass blocks, put hatch doors on the front and put a flower on it either side. That might make it look a little better. Okay, that makes it look really complete now in my eyes, and I've also added a bookshelf over here. Thought it would be good to have some books in the home as well. So that is the first two houses of the village project complete. I imagine I'm not going to focus all my episodes on building from this point on. I'll try and do some bits in between. And yeah, now I think what we need to do is put the names of the donators on each of these houses and say thank you to them. So my first donators to the channel were Marcus Yerk and on this side Thomas Foster, and they were already tributed in Asuma's World with mushroom refill stands, and if you're wondering why they're in here again, it's because I don't play on Asuma's World anymore. This is my new home on Hermitcraft, so I feel that everyone who's donated should get a place here. So those guys have got the first two houses as they're the first two donators, and if you're wondering what the money goes towards, it all goes towards the channel. I put it aside for upgrades to the computer and buying new equipment. For example, right now I've got a boom arm and a Blue Yeti microphone, which is supposed to be very good audio quality, and I've tested it already. It sounds fairly good, but at the moment I'm waiting for a pop filter to come through from Amazon.com, and then when I've got one of them I'll be able to start recording with it. So very shortly we should have a lot better audio quality coming in as well. But anyway, that is it for this episode. This project has been a real change of pace. It's nice to do some aesthetical building and just do something casual, and I feel like I've stepped out of my comfort zone a little here as well. We talked about that before, because if you look, these buildings, despite building the two of them symmetrical to each other as individual buildings, they're not actually symmetrical at all. And then we've got some nice interior going on for them as well, which is something I don't normally do. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.